Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And some very, very interesting news here from this article that I just read from zerohedge.com. And, basically, I'm going to read through it real briefly, but basically, in this article, there's this journalist that basically is uncovering this information concerning the migrant, border invasion, as they call it. And they're saying here that these migrants are actually, like, this is actually being coordinated by certain NGOs, okay, which NGO stands for non-governmental organization. And these NGOs, including like the Red Cross, and they have one here called Alita's Angels, are basically coordinating, the entrance, right, the allowing in of the migrants, taking them to specific locations, getting them ready, and then shipping them off to like different parts in the U.S. Okay, and they're actually being paid by the federal government, apparently. Okay, so there's definitely something behind all of this. There's definitely something going on here. So I'm gonna read through this, and you tell me what you think. Okay, so it says journalist uncovers shadowy network of NGOs facilitating U.S. border invasion. And like we've been saying from the jump, this whole border situation is gonna play a major role in some way, shape, or form. Journalist James O'Keefe uncovered a shadowy network of secretive nonprofits, some of which are funded by taxpayers, that are facilitating the invasion of illegals on the southern border. O'Keefe, if I'm saying that right, said Alita's Angels is a brand new nonprofit with no tax records on file that operates inside an old bank building in the Arizona border or border town of Nogales or Nogales. We're going to find out. Nogales. Nogales.
Nogales.
Nogales. Nogales. All right. It says, we just followed the trail of the migrant vans right to the source, visiting the Arizona border town of Nogales, where we encountered some rude and suspicious Alita's Angels NGO, or NGO workers, who once again called the police on us. A volunteer with the American Red Cross, who wouldn't give us his name, tried to prevent us from filming outside a migrant facility and kept sticking his hand over our cameras. When we questioned a volunteer with the NGO, she said, "I am your father," and stormed off. Nogales police officers showed up and questioned us after Alita's and Red Cross workers falsely accused us of using racial slurs and inhibiting their movement. We tried to get the officer's first name, but he refused to give it. When we FOIA'd the body cam footage, we were told Nogales police don't use them. A group called Alita's Angels runs the facility, but they're a brand new nonprofit with no tax records on file. We requested the documents with no luck. After Alita's, the migrants were crammed into buses like cattle to a processing facility an hour away in Tucson. So here they were taken over here to this area, this facility, and then they were sent to Tucson. It says once the migrants were boarded on the bus, we got a head start to meet them at a processing facility an hour away in Tucson. But once again, we couldn't get anywhere near the building. The staff of the facility, ran by Casa Alitas, threatened to call the cops again. But we managed to interview a local driver who does business at the facility, and he gave us even more information. O'Keefe said a worker with the Casa Alitas confirmed to our undercover journalist that Casa Alitas was getting federal money. So an NGO being, I guess, paid or funded um, with federal money to support and I guess, process the different migrants coming in to the country through the southern border. These elitists groups are part of a shadowy network of secretive nonprofits funding the mass migration of millions of people into the country without truly vetting asylum seekers' claims and determining if they are eligible for refugee status, the journalist continued. Then Elon Musk chimed in on the X thread asking, "Is the Red Cross supporting illegal immigration?" O'Keefe responded, "Here at Red Cross is working right alongside elitists, putting illegal immigrants on buses and shipping them to location in Tucson, where they are then shipped to Phoenix Sky Harbor. Also, the Red Cross are the first in at child camps. They leave once a NGO is contracted. So pretty much this is like a business. But the real question here is, why? What's the purpose behind this? Do they really care about migrants that much that, they're going through these lengths to get them asylum? I mean, if you look at the condition of the U.S., it's not really that much better. And they're already making claims saying that, oh, you're having crime and stuff going up because you're having certain migrants that are coming in, and because they're put in a desperate situation, they're taking desperate measures to try and, I guess, get by. Now, keep in mind, at the same time, right? At the same time, there was a video. I'm gonna see if I can find it, but there was basically a video of I think the brother Mwanga Gabar put it up on his alternative channel, where you had a lot of these different either I'll just call them politicians or like government agents, like some of them governors, some of them mayors probably, and they're all pushing this message of, if you have an extra room in your house, consider working with us so we can use that as a place to house these migrants. So you got to open up your house. They're saying people who own businesses, if you own hotels, if you have extra building, let's use that. And now they're basically openly telling you, hey, open up your homes and let us let us help you share your homes with these migrants. So whatever it is they're playing at, there's an end goal to it. Okay, this is all leading up to some specific end goal. Musk responds, "What the heck is going on? I was told that not only is the Red Cross facilitating illegal immigration, but they're being paid to do so by the federal government, specifically the Department of Homeland Security, out of the FEMA budget. What the heck is going on?" In a separate report from the news, now, who exactly these migrants are, we don't know. I mean, there's theories out there that some of them could be actual, like, agents that are being troops that are being sent in here undercover. Okay, but there's a lot of possible different explanations. In a separate report from the news website Muckraker, NGOs provided illegals in South and Central America with critical maps to show routes to the southern U.S. border. Would you look at that? Illegal alien invasion maps exposed. Critical thread exposing numerous mass migration blueprints. Muckraker has obtained multiple maps handed out by non-government organizations across South and Central America that detail the routes to take to the U.S. and where to cross, I guess, the border. Americans need to wake up. These chilling reports may indicate the federal government is using taxpayer dollars to facilitate the largest invasion of the southern border ever. It's becoming increasingly apparent why the Biden administration has yet to quote-unquote properly secure the border. A lot of NGOs are helping Biden open the border to unlimited illegal crossing, but none of this could happen without the president's approval. Byron York, the chief political correspondent at the Washington Examiner, recently said. Where does defunding NGOs rank on the list of things to do for the GOP? So, I just found this article very interesting because, as we've been saying, just recently you had this whole situation, the border crisis, started to like really come up in the headlines, but there are a lot of different pieces, that are falling on different parts of the map, so to speak, but they're all starting to be connected. It's kind of like the dots are starting to be connected, and we're gonna see. We're gonna see where all this is leading, but there's definitely something going on because on the one hand, you got mayors and governors saying we don't have enough space for to support all these migrants coming in and yada yada yada. And on the other hand, you got the federal government that's apparently, right, according to this article and this uncovering by this journalist, paying NGOs to basically facilitate the coming in, all right, or as the invasion, as they put it, of these migrants. So something is not adding up here, okay? And there's definitely a reason why all this is going on. But as the scriptures say, you have to walk circumspectly. Let me get that real quick. Circumspectly. This is the book of Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15. It says, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. Because what? The times that we're living in are evil. And there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that they throw distractions, to distract people from what's really going on behind the scenes. But they're definitely playing at something here. And I'm sure we're all going to find out sooner or later. Anyway, with that, I'm going to end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying and informative to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Recha Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.